Hey there, Ddraig here again, and this video for the art of a 4 video set about Cataph Southern Realms mod. I've already covered the legendary Yords, the new units on the roster. Now I'm going to cover 15 Regiments of Renown and the special Regiments of Fame. All these units are available to all the factions in the game. The Regiments of Renown are done in the usual way. You would recruit any of these regiments. Regiments of Fame, of which there is 6, all come from Mechanic, which I outlined in the first video. So let's dive into the Southern Realms one last time and look at some really interesting and unique units, starting with Regiments of Renown. From the rainforest of Yustra comes a famous mercenary band, the Anaconda Amazons, at 800 points. This high damage unit with anti-infantry of 8 and of course Vanguard deployment make them a great pick in any Vanguard build. Quicker than any human, they can get into the battle line and really put the hurt on any unit. Low armour, but do have a word save of 15%, which does help. They will of course need a bit of careful managing. Stick to low tier infantry and use them as flank attackers where they can quickly rack up the kills and can be used to keep routing infantry units coming back due to their speed. The Cursed Company is led by Richard Krieger, the Damned, a mercenary who cared not who hired him as long as the price was right. He then allied with a necromancer and terrorised the people of Wolfenburg. With a long-sought grueling campaign, the people of Wolfenburg so he forced the necromancer deeper into the forest. Here is where Krieger changed sides and fought with the Empire for some easy coin, swaying with the necromancer before he died, he cast a curse on Krieger. His skin started to melt and he died in agony. But the next day he rose from the dead. Now he is cursed to never die but to fight for eternity, swaying enemies as he goes, and as they are killed, they come back to life to serve him. As you look at the stats of the Cursed Company, coming at 900 points, you may be wondering they do not look that special at all. Stats wise, they aren't. Pretty much armoured swordsmen, stat line, vs armour. However, let's have a closer look. First off, they are of course undead, so provide fear. Next they are led by Krieger himself, giving them a plus 20 leadership. And at 70, that is a high for units of the undead. This is where it gets interesting. A constant buff of healing, allowing the unit to resurrect if it's used in the fight. Additionally though, the other ability kicks in if they are winning the fight, to a greater effect. With careful management, and always support this unit, it is a nightmare to kill, unless you can burst it down with elite units. 160 strong as well makes this unit very competitive, and can really shine in any army. Personally, I like to use it against Skaven, because of the lack of elite melee infantry, they can really struggle killing this unit. The Alcantina Fellowship are mercenaries from the hands of Tyria and are an elite pike unit, and not the arse of the pike units you will see. A strange group of mercenaries who have a fondness for peasants and the commoners of the old world, so they are not always driven by money when it comes to fighting. Led by Rodrigo de Monto is the really good unit of pike, and at 160 are a great fit in your front line. The anti-yard of 17 and a huge melee defense of 49, and of course a high leadership. Add the push of Pike's ability, making the melee attack much better than at first glance. Also, they also encourage units around them, so if you're going to build around Pikes in your army, this is a great anchor point and it's only 910. Vespel was an expert duelist, and this mercenary group is led by him. Only picking the best duelist to win with him, the Wasp, as Vespero is sometimes known, makes his band a great bodyguard unit. 100 strong with an anti-infantry bonus of 7 and really high melee attack and defense. They cause fear and support expert charge defense and a small missile resistance of 15, over 950 points. They are vulnerable to missile fire however, even with their resistances, and their own armour means if the enemy does get through, it's going to hurt. But they're highly skilled in combat, and with their high stats they can certainly protect any unit against any type of infantry. The only downside is their OP, so just be aware of the elite units coming for you who are heavily armed. Another pike unit now, coming in at 1000 points. Pizarro's Yost Legion are veterans of Yustra's campaigns, and have actually survived all the huge beasts who live there. The leader, Ferdinand Pizarro, got rich from these deep expeditions into Yustria, and now they are mercenaries for hire. As soon as you're going over 50 for melee defense, you know this unit is going to be a tough one. These pike, with of course their push of Pike's ability, is another great unit to build around for a pike front line. Personally, I prefer the Encourage of the Encantra Fellowship, and greater numbers, but this unit is even better in defense. I feel you get more your cash from the previous unit, but this is by no means a weak unit. I will hold that front line. And of course, for your sake, if you're planning to go to Yustria, you must have this unit in your army, because it's just fitting. The Knights of Orgol at 1020 points are a great damage dealing unit. High stats from the off, and having Frenzy added for more damage and push their attack over 50, making a very nice unit to put some hurt down. With their good armour and bronze shield, they can hold their own against a lot of infantry. And with extra frenzy damage, they can slowly dig into units, health pool, and not take too much damage back. An excellent damage dealer who you can be thrown in and not have to micromanage too much, knowing they can look after themselves. Back with the pike now on the famous Leopard Company. Get their name from the legendary Leopard of Luciana, a mystic creature and the mascot of the same city, and it also appears on the badge of Luciana. You know what you're getting now, and this unit is no exception, with the usual stats you get from a unit of pike. A bit more armour on this unit, and at 120 strong, you got some men to show up the front line. The special thing about this unit is their immune to psychology, which comes in very handy in the front line against any fear and terror mechanics. The last unit of pike from the Regiments of Renown, now with the Rico's Republican Guard from Remus. Raised by a group of merchants, these men were famous for their fighting skills and played a leading role of defeating the merchant prince of Remus. In the uprising, street fighting was everywhere, and the leaders of the Republican Guard fell continually to these fights. In Rico stepped, a humble common soldier at the time, but he was always at the front and killed scores of enemy, but never died. With the victory, the men were given praise and honour, but no money, so Rico took his unit and seeking employment in other Tyrian cities. Now they always get paid, and are some of the best fighters with pike in the old world in their ranks. A top tier pike unit, and their stats reflect this, and they're led by Rico himself. This heavily armoured unit is very tough for the enemy to get through, and they can deal up with damage as well with high melee attack. Expensive at 1350 points, but if you're facing cav or large monsters, this unit can certainly bring the pain. Onto the missile units now. Hailing from Margiana in 2E, the marksmen are experts with the crossbow at 800 points. They are of course highly accurate. As the minimum recruitment to enter the regiment, you must be able to shoot a bolt through the head of a prince of a gold ducat at 300 paces. If they can do such a feat, they are allowed to enter the regiment, and continue training to become even better and more consistent marksmen. Missile resistance of 15, this unit is great to target the opposition's elite unit. High damage and AP. Slightly longer range as well means they can really pick out those units and they can rarely miss their targets. Useful in enemy army, as who doesn't want a unit of expert marksmen? From Tyria again come the Braganard's Besiegers, and the biggest rivals to the previous unit. Used found with Burgo the Besieger, who could actually have two of these units in his campaign. They are heavy armoured and sporting a silver shield, and are better in combat than the previous unit, and still as accurate but a lot slower. Their bolts are not as powerful and a bit less range, but still highly useful unit who can really rack up their kills, and if they're caught out, can actually defend themselves from low tier infantry. Again, good in any army, and it's personal preference who you prefer. That armour though is really good, and that silver shield makes them even better when facing opposition skirmishers, and only 180 more points than a marksman, coming at 980. This unit has a terrible reputation, yet by Mangel, a dark elf of some renown. Mangel came into the old world from raids he had done with his fellow dark elves, where he raided on the Black Ark known as the Citadel of Spite, a fearsome fighter who never retreated, and unlike a lot of dark elves, rarely taking any prisoners but freeing and killing them. The Black Ark was in the Tyrian Sea and was doing its raiding thing when they were attacked by high elves. Mangel himself was trapped on a beach with his men, and having such a reputation, nobody came to rescue him. He retreated deep into the hills where he found merchants and was recruited to kill for them. From then on, his regiment was a mercenary band for hire. Being expert killers, they lacked no shortage of takers for the regiment's talents. Led by Mangel and sporting repeated crossbows, poison weapons and bolts, and really high stats with a vanguard, this is a powerful unit, and that as they really are a high cost at 1800 points. High AP either from the bolt or two-handed swords really do work on the battlefield, but do bring some nasty yet interesting abilities. Banner of Carolingia provides some missile resistance to the unit. Also, the Fray ability, which is curious. Active for 15 seconds, reducing speed whoever they are attacking and causing fear. Infantry, their reputation for being man-frays, and well, the smell, cause the leadership buff around them, so that should be taken note of. I had an army specialised in vanguarding, and this unit was scary in the battlefield. It racked up so many kills and was lots of fun to play. Watch out for that leadership debuff. It's particularly nasty, and make sure your units have high morale before charging this unit in. Onto the Cav now. El Mukhtar Desert Dogs are a great unit to begin with. Hailing from Araby are expert riders and skirmishers. The high speed makes them very handy on the battlefield, popping up all around the world, and in Araby this unit is a great hit and run tactics. Speed kills, and you should use that speed to great effect. A must to help guard any vanguard units, as this unit I ran with that vanguard army I was telling you about before. Great at defending your foot, spreading fear around them. The battlefield is a bargain at only 900 points. A skink unit now, mounted on some cold ones. A curious unit which is very handy. Given a task by the mighty Swans to go out and find the Ost Golden Prax, which those annoying man things are taken from their hands. The raiders now join such armies who will indeed have these tablets, and it's all the payment they were asked for, making them very highly sought after mercenaries. And yes, they don't have those tablets, then they will not ride with them. So they are cheap, but very specific mercenary band. Thankfully, you don't have to rely on these tablets, and it only costs you 1400 points for a quick AP unit. They can cause a lot of damage on the battlefield due to the high mass of the cold ones, causing fear as well as bringing a constant debuff, which is highly interesting and deserves a closer look. If the raiders are on the verge of breaking, they will restore the units around them, allowing when they break to escape easier. A highly interesting ability, as you can bring another unit to catch them as their movement is decompromised, and means they have great synergy with other cav, or indeed units on foot. One of the most revered horseman units in the old world, even higher than some of the Bretonnian cavalry. Royan's Venturers bring a high skill to any army who can afford them. Coming from Tyria, this unit comprises renegades, exiles and disposed sons and nobles. Known for spending their gold on quite ludicrous drinking sessions, where drink is measured in the gallons. The shock cavalry are devastating on the charge, with high melee attack and weapon strength. Heavy armoured as well and shielded, they can be asked if they get caught out. Supporting ability, which provokes perfect vigour, so strong in the 8 game of a fight. At 1400 points, they are not cheap, but they do have huge damage potential. Are you in the Empire, and look with jealous eyes at the elves of the damn cheating dragons? Well, fear not, Asani is here to provide you with a dragon at a stupid cost of 3200 points. A Prince of Calador, Asnari, lost all his wealth and power with the High Elves, and disobeyed the Phoenix King. He was exiled from the High Elves' lands, and decided to take his skill to the highest of the highest bidders. And on his dragon, Deathfang, they flew to the hands of Tyria to ply their trade of death. As you can see, the Star Dragon and Asnari is a potent mix and provides huge damage, 435 which is AP, and a Star Dragon's breath to boot. Fast and tough thanks to 5% physical and 35% missile resistance. This is a monster of a unit, and remember this, it's not a hero, it's actually a unit. It can cause havoc on the battlefield if you can afford the cost. You will not go wrong with this unit patrolling the skies. So with the Regiments of Renown out of the way, we can now turn to the Regiments of Fame, starting with the Terrico of Paravon, coming in at 920 points. An unbreakable unit of Pike, perfect for making sure one unit stays in front of your line to the death. You can keep a yard or a hill just behind this unit, safe in the knowledge you'll release some breathing room, or you can surround your character with this unit, making the enemy grind through to get to you. Good defense of 50, and of course that expert charge defense, making them a real solid presence at any line. The highest defense on the list, the Sons of Strigos at 1110 points, are a defense blocking unit, with Vanguard to add some more utility. I wear a Shield, a decent armour, and if that's not enough, poison as well. Decent damage output with 16 anti-charge. This unit is also immune to psychology, making them a very viable unit in any army. Comfortable any price, may be a bit slow for rush vanguard builds, but do provide excellent cover for those units to fall back on. They also have stalk, so the opposition could be added to a trap, such as cavalry who charge some of the lighter vanguard units and went straight into this mighty infantry. High armour, bronze shield, high melee stats and some good AP at 16, all for around 1150 points. A very good damage dealing unit, but a bit slow, but fit well in a second rank, ready to charge in and help weak points in the front line. A pretty one dimensional unit, but its stats make it very good at doing that, and the cost is reasonable. This is more an offensive unit than the previous one at 1350 points. The Prince's Own are a great sword infantry, dealing 26 AP and 9 entry infantry bonus damage, making them a very potent force. With a high leadership and monster armor of 110. They're a tough elite melee infantry killing unit. They are immune to psychology as well, and are again very at home in a second line, ready to burst in and do extra deal damage, or even better, make a hole for them and burst them through around, allowing access to the rear of the enemy. An excellent vanguard tool for your armies, dealing cheap missile fire from the vanguard position. At only 580 cost, the Verena's Owls have the encouragement mechanic as well, meaning they are great value for your money. They cannot do it on their own though, and need support from other vanguard units. Because of that encouragement ability, you can rebuild a potent vanguard based army. The damage is weak, but against any chaff, this unit will rack up the kills. Yasui, who has some armor piercing cavalry. Good high armor, but no shield, with 23 AP and 5 anti-charge bonus, making this a unit cheap anti-charge cav at 1150, which considering that price is quite a good deal. Can easily supplement another elite unit of cavalry and provide that extra bit of damage on a cheap, or just use it to run down the opposition, but they are slow due to its high armor, but they are still a viable unit on the battlefield. With that, we are done with my coverage of the Southern Realms mod by Cataph. I hope you found it interesting, and give it a look if you haven't already. This is a great mod with tons of depth and replayability. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.